Mr. Prasad, would you like to begin with remarks or shall we go into? Maybe a few remarks to begin with, sir. Whatever you're comfortable.
Good morning everyone. Okay, let me start with the question today. How many of you believe that we have revived the hydro after a long time? Only a few hands. Still not, still not confident, is it? Okay. Oh, that is how you first raised it and then put it down. And how about the hydro pump storage? Oh, double confidence. Good to see this in the beginning of the conference today. And let me at the outset thank Powerline for inviting me to be a part of this very important subject, which is going to be key element, particularly with respect to the energy transition that is happening in the country. And we have some commitment, and that commitment needs to be fulfilled. Of course, we are going with a good pace in terms of the energy transition. Some of you must be knowing that we have, this month we have crossed 50% of renewable, leave aside the non-fossil. Simply on renewable aspect only, we have crossed 50% of the installed capacity. And we'll be marching ahead with a greater pace, particularly from the next year onwards. And even in this year, if you see, the total capacity what we have added in the country so far is more than 30,000 megawatt in terms of renewable alone, leaving aside the other segments. So if we are moving at this pace, particularly adding more of solar, more of wind, we are going to touch somewhere around 200 gigawatt of solar and wind together. Huge amount of variability is getting introduced into the system. So we need some sources which is stable, which provides me inertia, which is also reliable to an extent that I can plan for its use whenever I need it in the system. So hydro definitely is going to be the key development in the country. All of you are aware about its potential. We have not been able to harness even 50% of the potential that we have in the country. But what is more important is the earlier projects which were stalled, they have started giving results. And this year Subansiri, which was long pending, will be on bar. Besides this, these projects which were hanging on fire for quite some time in Arunachal, many of the projects have been cleared in the PIB this year. So hopefully we are likely to see that those projects also come up. So Arunachal, J&K, Himachal, Uttarakhand, all these are the areas where you'll find a lot of activities, maybe slightly slow in Uttarakhand, but at other places, definitely it will be there. Roughly 13 to 14,000 megawatt is in the pipeline right now, which will get fructified by 2030 or 32, or maybe slightly in 33 as such. But what is more important now is, why I asked this question was, we need to change the sentiment of every stakeholder in the hydro development area. Whether it is the developer themselves and the financing companies, institutions, and all the equipment suppliers who are supposed to be the backbone of the hydropower development in the country. So until unless we see it holistically, the old notion that we complete hydro projects in 20 years time frame will not go. So we need to change this concept. Whatever is required, I think all of us, whether it is the policymakers or all these stakeholders together, I think if we can fight it out and we need to accelerate. And that's the only solution what I see in future. One segment of the hydro development is also hydro pump storage. And because of the variability of solar and wind, we thought we need some kind of a capacity which can give me a supply during the non-solar hours. So challenge in India now is not the solar hours, but the non-solar hours. Solar hours, we have comfortable capacities. In fact, this year also we got somewhere around 70 plus gigawatt during solar hours that was available to meet my demand. But this entire capacity is not available during the evening hours or the early morning or late evening hours. So how do we manage this demand? So we need storage. Storage, right now you have only two options. Either you have hydro pump storage or you have battery energy storage systems. Definitely we know, all of us know who are at least sitting in this particular room, that hydro pump storage definitely had huge amount of advantages over the battery energy storage systems. I need not elaborate on that aspect. Don't get carried away by the sudden reduction in the tariff, what we have discovered in few bits which has happened in the country. Of course, those are in a different construct, and that construct right now is most of these bits are of 2 cycles, which may or may not fructify as we go along. And their hours of operation is also less. They are operating for 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours. The moment you increase the number of hours and reduce the cycle operation, the cost will keep on rising. And then you will find that your hydro pump storage is quite competitive. Hydro pump storage, because why I am saying so is beyond 2030 or even 29, you will find that the requirement in the country is going to be more than 6 hours of that nature. So 6 hours in the evening and at least 3 to 4 hours in the morning, you will have good amount of cycles in which the hydro pump storage will be operating. And that is how some of the people, they have quoted quite a good tariff, particularly in Maharashtra and all, with respect to the hydro pump storage. Now, what was required, because last 3 to 4 years, we have been churning in this area and trying to find out what are the things which is withholding, and we were not able to increase our capacity beyond 4.7 gigawatt till last year, I'll say. And the last project was commissioned was Purlia of 900 megawatt in West Bengal. And this year, at least, we have been able to commission Pinnapuram and Tehri. Both of them are really promising. One definitely has a long history of 20 years. The other one could do it in 4 to 5 years time frame. So there is a shift now, and that shift all of us must realize. And that shift is in terms of all the policy frameworks that has come up in this particular area. Particularly, what are the things that is needed? First is the survey and investigation and identification of the project itself. The very fact that it was left now to the private companies and you can go select your site, that means self-identified site is now being promoted. And since these projects can be allocated by the states to you, and this is how we have gained huge amount of traction in hydro pump storage in the country. In 22, the potential of pump storage in the country used to be somewhere around 94 to 97 gigawatt, which has now jumped to around 270 gigawatt as of now. And every month, we are being reported of some new sites, and that is how the potential in the country is going up and up. And this has led us internally in CA to revise the capacity addition program of hydro pump storage in the country. So, the preparation of, firstly, the identification of sites. This small intervention has led all the private investors and private companies to jump into this particular segment. And let me tell you right now, whatever we have in the pipeline, they are all coming from the private sector. So this is a good mindset change that has happened in this particular segment. Second is the preparation of DPR, that means the quality DPRs. We had a number of workshops in the recent past, particularly in the last 3 years, so that we made sure that whatever the DPRs that you are preparing, because there is a gap between the earlier PSP that came in the country and we are trying to drive now. So we even found that initially 3 years back, we found that even the consultants were not up to the mark to advise you a good DPR to be prepared. So we took a number of exercises with CWC, CA, GSI, CSMRS, all of them organized workshops to educate and to do a capacity building in terms of the preparation of DPRs. And we made very clear that what is supposed to be there in the DPRs. That means a checklist was also prepared to see that what exactly is required in the DPR, and even to the appraising authority who is going to see your DPR, they also must be very clear that they need to see only this and nothing beyond this particular aspect, so that you don't get a repeated type of comments coming from the appraising agencies. So it needs to be appraised in a very holistic manner and in a very transparent manner. We made some kind of a software as well, portals, wherein every step is being mentioned. So the next challenge was, how do we prepare the DPR and how do we conquer these DPRs in a given time frame? And the time has reduced. I think the developer themselves will say, instead of my telling, how much we have been able to reduce and make it concise. Recently, we have analyzed some of the projects that has been conquered in CA. Internally, we were given a target of 90 days to clear a particular project by Ministry of Power. But we had been clearing in less than 30 days after the DPR is complete and uploaded onto the CA website. So that's the kind of seriousness that has been brought in the appraising agencies, so that you are not held up because for want of only the appraising in this particular segment. Third thing that was required is how do we quickly get them environment and forest clearances. So the hydro pump storage had been classified now into the 3 buckets, particularly the closed loop off stream, which does not have any linkage to the river, has been segregated separately. And these are the projects wherein you don't require interstate clearances and so many other things that you don't require. So these have been segregated and put in a bucket wherein the minimum clearances are required. MOEF also clears it in a faster manner. And certain more relaxation have also been given to the hydro projects, particularly in terms of the number of drill holes that you need to do it, and so on and so forth. Only I think one subject is still pending with MOEF, which I am aware of, which I am following it up, and that is the when you are going for I think that sample collection. That, of course, they have not still agreed to, but I think that if we succeed in getting that as well, probably we'll be able to save 4 or 5 months of time, particularly in terms of the investigation process. So after once you have all these DPRs, etc., in place, I think then it is all left to the developers. But what we started doing, that's for all the developers who are sitting here. Some of you are already availing those facilities, particularly people wanted that can we start early excavation and before even the DPR is concurred by CEA. So we have started giving you the early excavation permissions. Those of you who wants to go ahead even when the DPR is formally not cleared by CA, so that you can do your bidding, you can mobilize your resources, and you can start doing all your activities. So make sure that you all do a parallel activities, particularly in terms of getting your environment clearances, forest clearances, good DPRs, and once you reach to a certain stage, we allow you to go ahead with your early excavation activities as well. What we found is this saves around 1 year time, at least 1 year times in terms of construction of these projects. And I think Naresh is here. He will agree that I think his project Chitravati was concurred in 2024, and they will be commissioning the project in October 26 this year. So that's the kind of gain that a developer can get if you are really doing your parallel activities, if you are really taking advantage of the Government of India's policies, particularly in terms of early excavation, slightly taking risks, etc., I think you can do it in, if you take the entire time, then also roughly around 3 years to 4 years time frame, you can easily construct a closed loop off-stream hydro pump storage projects. So this year we are targeting somewhere around 2.6 gigawatt of hydro pump storage. Some of them have been commissioned, and I think only one unit of Tehri, which is left out right now, will also get commissioned very soon. Next year, we are targeting around 2.9 gigawatt of hydro pump storage that will get commissioned. Some of them are larger as well, particularly MP30, etc. will be of a larger size. From 3 years from now, I think the pipeline will increase further to around 6,000 and then 13,000 and then 20,000 of that nature. Because we need huge amount of storage systems, particularly in the country. I think some of you who have been watching the resource adequacy plans of the country, which earlier we had given up to 32, then 34, 35, and now 35, 36 is also under preparations. So these indicate, and even up to the 47 time frame, these indicate huge amount of storage requirement in terms of gigawatt, as well as in terms of gigawatt hour. So this requirement has to be met, and this has led us in preparation of now how quickly we ramp up the addition of hydro pump storage. So let me give you, in fact, 2 years earlier, we had just fixed a target of around 30 gigawatt of hydro pump storage to be added in by 32. So we revised those targets, and very soon, in fact, from tomorrow onwards, we are going to have a Chintan Shivir, which is being organized by Ministry of Power. So a report will be released tomorrow, which is a roadmap to how do we take it to 100 gigawatt of PSP in next 10 years. And this is with respect to the projects. All the projects have been mentioned there, in which year, which project we are targeting. What is the status of the transmission lines for these projects? What is the investment requirement? Who are the manufacturers? What are the policy interventions? Everything has been compiled in that report. You will find it released tomorrow, and maybe it will be, we'll share with all the stakeholders. Why I'm trying to mention all this now is the momentum is there, and we need to keep this momentum going. So whether the next challenge which I perceive is, if I really want to have something like 20 gigawatt coming in a particular year, which means that I need the equipment supplier also to gear up to that extent, so that at least we don't fall short of supply chain issues. Particularly what we found in case of coal base very recently, that we were left only with 2 suppliers of boiler and turbines, and we started facing the supply chain issues. So the indication now is particularly those of you who are in the manufacturing business, please try to gear up. Please try to see your pipeline and try to increase your capacity so that at least we don't feel short of any supply chain issues. Because if that happens, then probably maybe we'll have to start importing those equipment from outside, because the pace of growth will not stop. Pace of growth has to be there. So my humble submission to all the manufacturers who are sitting here, or who are, maybe it can be conveyed through the conference organizers, that we need capacity, and for that capacity we need everything to be manufactured in India, and so that at least we don't face any kind of an issue as we go along. So these are the things I thought I'll just share initially. Maybe as we go along, probably we can keep on adding something more as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Big hand for him there. I think in just about 10-15 minutes, he's articulated and summarized where we are and where we could be extremely well, as I think, as he does almost always. So very happy that you're here. The questions I wanted to ask you, you've answered, so I've got a few more. My first question you mentioned is, are there particular areas where you're concerned about? You mentioned supply chain just now. Are there particular areas where you feel there's an issue right now?
There was, but I think we have allowed BHEL also to come in the so that they can augment their systems. So hopefully we will be getting somewhere around 2.5 to 3.5 gigawatt capacity coming from BHEL, which will get augmented with others as well.
Right.
So hopefully, and there are two more companies which are yet to take a call. So we are pursuing with them, and if they also agree, then we can have somewhere around 20 gigawatt per year of that kind of a capacity within the country.
Okay. Mr. Prasad, there was a report, I think about a week or two ago by Reuters, which was carried by all the newspapers, that the government is reconsidering its policy of allowing partnerships with as they said, land neighbors. I guess they meant Chinese. I think it was Mr. Gaba's commission that is, the recommendation was alluded to, although never quite explained. Is the government thinking of, and I said they may be allowed to bid for public contracts?
Those things will be based on the, again, as I mentioned to you, that the growth will keep on happening.
Okay.
And if we don't get the equipment within the country, then definitely
that is a possibility.
Those options are open. But as long as we keep on getting the equipments within the country, whatever we require for our own growth, then it will not happen. So the message is loud and clear that we need to have our own indigenous capacity within the country. We need to upgrade and make the capacity to an extent that we meet all the internal demands so that our supply chain is not disturbed. And in case something happens, in case there is a demand and if some of the developers feel that I am getting choked because I am not getting the equipment within the country, then that gate can be opened as well. So it may be on a case-to-case basis. And that's how I think it's an early indication that we are trying to give to all the stakeholders, that please gear up your capacity so that at least you are not you don't face that kind of a challenge later on.
Okay, I think as you mentioned, a lot of progress. Things are looking better than they've looked before, than they've looked ever in the last at least a decade or so for hydro. What do you see as a big challenge or as the biggest challenge?
I think we have been able to resolve all the challenges.
Okay.
I don't,
so you don't
see any
challenges.
challenges.
Okay.
I see only opportunity
Okay.
For all the people who are going to be in this particular segment. Right. After a long time, we have seen something blue that is coming on the way. So far, we have been seeing black. So we need to encourage this blue to to really flourish. Only one issue that was pointed out to me, I think only a week ago, I'm not yet sure whether that's a real challenge. That's the sentiment of the insuring company who provides insurance. Probably that's a challenge. Probably some of the hydro developers are facing, but this has not been reported to me from the PSP side. Probably PSP things are okay. Only from hydro side, in some of the terrains which are fragile in nature, and particularly after Tista flood issue that has happened. So some apprehensions are there in that area, and we are trying to have the dialogues with the bankers and trying to see with the insurance companies as well how this can be mitigated. But I don't see any challenge with respect to the hydro pump storage. The another thing that I would like to tell all of you is, initially we are targeting some EG sites which are good enough, and I think that should be your endeavor as well. Please do a very meticulous examination of your sites. There is huge amount of sites which are located in the peninsular areas, multiple sites, and the strata, the geological strata, and there's no challenges as far as GSI is concerned. So these are some of the low-hanging fruits which I think probably we need to target first and try to see that they get developed. Particularly, I think somebody was demonstrating Vipuri just now. So those are the sites which are really very good, and the highest capacity, the largest capacity that what we have so far conquered in CEA is 3,000 megawatt at a single site. But I am told that the very soon even this capacity will get surpassed by another project which is going to be 3,660 megawatt. And there is another developer, I'll not name him, but he is targeting somewhere more than 5,000 megawatt at a single location. So that's the kind of enthusiasm that has come into this particular sector, and I think we need to push it.
Okay, great. I'm going to do something different. Let me ask, instead of me asking more questions, I'm going to ask a few people here. I'm naming those people. Mr. Kumar from Tata Power, do you have any suggestion or question? Just a suggestion or a question, sir, for Mr. Prasad.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. And Chairman sir has already covered that one of the key challenges is like forest clearance and environment clearance. And a lot is being done from the government side. We really appreciate and thankful. Despite all the efforts, I think there are more rooms to cover. And work is in progress. We are in touch with.
So do you have any particular question or suggestion for him?
Yeah, this is question come suggestion is a lot more to be done, which is already work in progress, and we are appreciative of that and thankful to this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, in fact, we are aware about that, and there are certain projects which have been conquered by CA, particularly 6 projects are such that which we have conquered, and they are waiting for the forest clearances. So this delay also we would like to get it avoided. And so we are in touch with MOEF for further relaxation. But 2 things all of you must keep in mind. One is please apply for forest clearance and environment clearance at the earliest. Don't wait for the last moment to apply. You'll lose time. So if you take early actions on getting the forest clearances and environment clearances, probably you will be able to get it in time by the time your DPR is prepared. Second, I'll once again urge all of you, because right now I am only aware about one aspect which we need to take up with MOEF. If you still feel that there are certain things which may be taken up with MOEF, definitely I'll be more than happy. You can give me now, or maybe you can send to me, to my office, and we'll again take it up with the MOEF in a consolidated manner.
Okay. Mr. Vashisht from GSW.
Hi, sir. Good morning. So I think as CA and MOP, I started my career with NHPC in '98, and today the kind of traction and support which we see from CEA and NOP is fabulous. So I must first of all compliment you with the speed at which you get projects, concurrence done, and the project's issues are resolved, like early excavation initiative which I've been taking. I request you on two things, sir. One very specific. I need you to now bat us with Ministry of Finance and declare PSP as RE devices, which will help the GST from, like for RE devices, GST has been reduced from 12 to 5. Similar thing can be done for hydro, electromechanical and hydromechanical, which will immensely give a commercial edge. That's one. And on the forest part, I would request, today land is a very big issue, especially CA land. It's private developers, all government developers. Everybody is facing a lot of issues with CA land. And today, as per the Parivesh 2 portal, at PSC 1, you need CA land suitability as well as you need the ATS with the farmers. We request you to work with the MOEF and shift it to PSC 2 so that we get some time to, get these things sorted.
Thank you, sir.
Which will help.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Just to give you a small update on both the issues. One is regarding getting the same benefit as RE. The matter is already with the Ministry of Finance, and discussions are going on. It's not an easy nut to crack, but if we are successful, and hopefully we will be successful, and that's how all these exercises are going on, that what we are targeting in terms of hydro pump storage. And let me thank all the developers who have really demonstrated that we can deliver. This is very, very important because government is still in the same old notion that hydro takes around 10 years or more, 20 years to fructify. In fact, let me tell you, I had been fighting this with the PMO, with CAPSEC for last 3 years. They said, Ghanshyam, तुम बहुत गलत रास्ते पे चलने जा रहे हो, and you will not be able to succeed in the manner in which you are trying to pursue. Nobody believed me initially, but now when the things have started fructifying, now the mindset have started changing, and that is how we have been able to make the people agree even for a VGF scheme for hydro pump storage, which was not thought earlier. And hopefully if this VGF scheme fructifies, probably there will be another push to hydro pump storage. Similarly, we are also in discussion for getting it parity with respect to the RE as such. Regarding the CA land, it's not only for the hydro, it's a common problem. It's a common problem for transmission, hydro, and other areas as well. So as a combined proposal, it has been, it is under consideration of MOEF. But they are also finding it slightly difficult how do they address this particular issue. But this is a combined issue for all the infrastructure projects which is getting impacted because of this. So I think government is serious about it. Hopefully some solution will come out. On this.
Mr. Dakshit from GMR, please.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir. You have very rightly brought out the issues and the proactive initiatives taken by CA. We are the live example, like Upper Karnali was cleared in a record period of time. And your regular, even bi-weekly meetings of the project being assessed by CA has really helped us to take a strategic initiative to get it cleared in a time-bound manner. One of the important areas which I wish to highlight, like the lenders' confidence in the hydro and PSP has started growing up now. So that is the area which was like private developers especially were facing challenges.
So your question or suggestion?
It's
So you're just happy, you're just very happy and satisfied.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Mr. Telugu from Adani.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon, sir. And I really personally thank Ghanshyamji, because we really, as stated by Ghanshyamji, we saved around 9 months in Chitravati and around again 9 months in Gandhigutta also. And that's really helped us so that how we are going to commission Chitravati in around 33 months in October if we commission. And similarly in Gandhigutta also we'll be commissioning in around 40 months. So it's a huge advantage of and which CA's efficiencies also in when you are in office, the efficiencies of DPR approvals have all increased. There are 2-3 points I just wanted to regarding PSP. I think we need to, like you said, they're still having a mindset of a hydro for a PSP. So off-stream closed-loop projects, we should categorize it separately than a river valley project. That itself,
It has been done.
though it is still under river B2 categories, something is there, but there are 3 conditions for it which no project can basically satisfy. So no one can get a benefit out of it. So
Okay,
we'd
just,
like to.
send me a text.
sure.
What exactly you need a tweaking in
Right.
that B2 category,
Sure, we'll do that.
which will help, and you can give some examples as well. So
We'll do that, sir.
we don't mind getting it back to MOEF to get that amended as well.
Sure, sir. And even forest clearance, even degraded forest should be also made because now we need to go and buy private land. And okay, for a company like us, we do require many lands and we are keeping land banks for such a, but it's for everyone, it's not possible that you buy without a project, you go and buy land because earlier it saves you around to go and buy private land, it takes at least a year because these are 600, 800 acres, 1,000 acres of land we are buying. So that's one part if degraded land can also be allowed for hydros, for CA land purposes. And insurance, as you rightly said, hydros do have a problem, but PSP insurance also is at a higher cost because I have done projects outside India also. Insurance costs are quite high for PSP also because they think it as, their mindset is that it's a hydro project. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Any suggestion that the House can give me? Can we have some kind of a separate fund for insurance? What can the modalities be? Just think about it.
Sure, sure. So
And
We'll organize
if you
that,
all
sir.
can give me a construct that, say, just like what we did in case of solar, if you recall correctly, we started collecting 2 paisa from all the RE developers, and we created a payment security fund. And that fund has gone up to, I think, more than 1,200 crores right now, and which has given a good amount of security to all the lenders. They are assured that even if the buyers default, SECI can give from this particular fund to the developer. So if you all can suggest some kind of a mechanism, I'm not saying similar mechanism, maybe some other mechanisms. Maybe you can do some kind of a brainstorming, and if it will come out, I don't mind because this we are thinking for the nuclear case as well because there also again similar type of issues there, not on the insurance part, but on the liability part of it.
Mr. Prasad, what we can do with Powerland can do is we can have a webinar very quickly based on schedules of people. And that way, in a short amount of time, you'll hear from lots of people. Or do you prefer written?
I don't
submissions?
mind. I mean,
Okay.
as long as I keep gaining
Yes,
in
one
terms
way or
of
the other.
suggestions and in
Yeah.
terms of policy making, I mean,
Okay.
I'm investing my time here.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, yes.
One last session
One
on
more.
hydropower especially, since PSPs, as I said, that on hydropower, at least selected few companies who already have the experience should be at par with PSUs for allotment of projects so that the potential gets basically realized. I mean, we are ourselves going to Bhutan, Nepal, serving Indian market, but we cannot do if there's this regulations cannot change. I mean, that is one of the issues.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
you. Mr. Sirvatsa from Torrent. And sir, just your suggestions or questions. Yeah.
I don't have any suggestion, but I do endorse what Chairperson said regarding the support which we got for early clearance of the DPR, the single largest project which Chairperson has mentioned. In that context, we approached and we got all kind of support in getting, technical help from appraising agencies as well. So the kind of impetus which CA is making
Right.
for growth of PSP, that is really, I think, very commendable. And I compliment sir for that.
Okay. Thank
That is
you.
it.
I wanted to get viewpoints of the private developer, but Mr. Batra is sitting here. He, of course, is NHPC to CEA. I'm assuming the communication channels are always there, but is there anything that you would like to suggest that?
Sir, first of all, thanks for the initiatives taken by MOP, CEA, and all others who have contributed for renewed focus on hydro. We all are thankful for that. And with particular focus on PSP, let's not forget that we need as much hydro also for supporting the grid. So the focus should be equally there also.
I mean,
again-
non-PSP hydro. Yeah.
yeah. PSP is also a form of hydro.
Of course,
but
hydro, right.
Pure hydro also.
Right.
That also gives the same kind of support to the grid. And apart from that, what I will say is also in the form of questions and
Yes, please.
suggestions and probable solutions probably, that the way we want the sector to come up and with limited heavy engineering capabilities in India, why don't we open it for global suppliers and ease out Atmanirbhar restrictions for supply of electrical equipments? Probably that needs to be done. Secondly, land acquisition has become a big pain, takes a lot of time and takes a lot of money also.
Right.
So unfortunately, after LARR, we are paying 4 times, 6 times, and these are the rates which have already gone up because of the anticipation of the project in the area. Because these are site-specific projects, so already the rates are up, and then you end up paying 4 times, 6 times, and those kinds of things.
Thank
And
you.
R&R, probably something needs to be done on that account.
Thank you, sir.
The awards should be made much early and at the rates of the area, not particular location probably. 10 kilometer away, you will get the same field for half the price, and then that kind of thing happens. Thirdly, probably for compensatory afforestation, why not make it? Just deposit some money with the forest department and they take care of it. Whether they make plantation on degraded, whether they buy private land, whether they have, whatever they do with that money, I mean, whether they make guest houses and buy Thars, that should not be the botheration for the developer. We pay, we end up paying and getting out of it.
Thank
that
you,
will
sir.
be easier for the.
Thank you, sir.
These are again means probable
Thank you.
suggestions, solutions kind of thing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Any response? Do we have a few more minutes, Mr.
Yeah,
Prasad?
I
know
have.
we started late.
No problem. We can continue.
We can do a few more questions. Okay.
I think
Okay,
you
so
can, you can ask anybody from the back.
That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do now. So we have time probably for 2, 3, 4 questions. I'll go to the left column first. Any questions or comments from the left column? Yes, sir. Third row. Could you get him, please? Yeah. So do identify yourself and keep the question very short.
So my name is Sumit Mazumdar. I represent Renewable Technologies here and also the Federation of Indian Small Hydropower. So we have one grievance. This is the right of way requirements in the hilly areas where the conductors go very high up and actual diversion of land doesn't take place. But the CEA regulations require the land to be transferred from the forest to the project. So this norm could be relooked in the hilly areas, sir, because we do not divert the land from the forest, but it remains in the custody of the forest because the conductors are going very high up from mountain to mountain.
I think that's a requirement of the Forest Act. We'll have to again have a relook at that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any question in the middle column, please? Yes, sir. Can you get the mic to him, please?
Good afternoon, sir. Myself, Abhijit Kalita. I'm from NEPCO. So, sir, my question is, as a hydro community, what the biggest challenge I have faced in my 27 years in hydro is not the technical issues, but the people's sentiment is against us. And we are media's favorite punch bag. In particular, in northeastern region, it has become a big issue. Sir, don't you think as a policy maker or as a hydro community, we should do something to educate the people? So, even, sir, in many cases, we have heard that people are physically abused, even at the very initial stage. Sir, don't you think that we can make a move towards educating people using force is also of course in a way, but better than that, if you can do something about, so what is your suggestions?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, definitely consumer awareness needs to be made. And if you recall, when Subansri was struck, for various reasons, so we started attacking the problems and the sentiments. We did engage with the customers, the local people, the politicians, the NGOs, and did a number of those consumer awareness programs, which has changed the sentiments of that locality. Of course, it's not easy. It's a very, very difficult thing, but you definitely need to take the people along with you if you really need the project to come. So consumer awareness definitely is a key, and all the developers who are developing in that particular area, I think you need to engage yourself with the local people as well, and build up the sentiments. And this is true for not only for hydro. This is true for all projects which you are now going to do in India. The next bigger challenge is going to come for the nuclear, right? Which we are going to accelerate that pace of development in nuclear as well. We are already gearing up in that space. And even in this, take the smaller example, the smart meters, right? Initially, huge amount of resistance came from the people. They didn't wanted the smart meters to be placed, and in particularly a smart meter in a prepayment mode. Most of the people they wanted not to be put up in their premises. But again, with the help of consumer awareness, things have picked up a lot.
Thank you.
So initially, there can be some resistance, but the moment you start engaging with the local people, things are likely to fall in place.
Right column, please, on my right. Any question on
And
the right?
you have a very good kitty of CSR. So what we had suggested 2-3 years back to the developer is, even to our own PSUs, that once you are going in that area, you can engage with them and do some CSR upfront. Because you do have, in hydro, you have 1% of LADF, right? Local Area Development Fund. So that fund, instead of investing after the project is there, can you not do it earlier to that project, so that will help you in winning their sentiments? और करना क्या है? कुछ नहीं, एक स्कूल बना दिया, एक डिस्पेंसरी बना दिया. They are all remote located places. छोटी छोटी चीज यदि आप कर लेते हो ना उस एरिया में, तो आई थिंक उनकी सेंटिमेंट ऐसे ही चेंज हो जाती है. कम्युनिटी हॉल बना दिया. देखो उस एरिया की लोकल नीड्स क्या हैं. लोकल नीड के हिसाब से 1-2 आइटम भी यदि आपने कर दिया ना, तो पीपल विल बिकम फैन ऑफ योर्स.
Last question, sir.
Hello. Sir, you have already
Sir,
expressed...
could you identify?
Sir, this is PK Kaushik from... I am a private consultant, sir. I am a value advisor. Sir, Prasad Saab has rightly said that he is trying to reduce the time after the DPR is uploaded on the portal. That is very nice, and he has given concurrence even before the 90 days, and it was displayed in the government website that it has been given in a record time. That is very nice. But what is happening, sir, there is one other area where the time is being consumed. It is before portal, we have to do a lot of exercise with the CWC. And sometimes what happens, it is repetitive comments or some comments. Can we have some timelines or some strictly that once observations are issued, then it should be complete?
I got your point.
Yes.
Basically, there are a number of things that has been done to take care of the pre-DPR stage as well.
Correct.
Number one, if you recall, earlier all the GSI cases were coming to Delhi, right? So now we have requested the GSI to enable their local offices to accept the DPRs. So now their local offices are also tuned and they accept the DPRs there itself and concur it. So the load of Delhi office has reduced. So now you have multiple places from where the GSI clearances can come. Similarly, we had taken up this exercise with CWC as well. And they have also made now 3 parallel divisions. Earlier there was only one division which were looking at the DPRs. Now there are 3 parallel divisions which are looking at the DPRs. Fourth thing, when we found that repetitive type of comments which you are saying used to come earlier, around 2 years back, the moment we made checklist, the things have reduced further. And my open again is there to all the developer is still if you find that there are certain, see what we need to do is we need to standardize the process. Once you standardize the process, everybody is knowing. As a developer, what you need to submit, as a appraising agency, what he needs to say it. If both of them know each other, then probably the things are done. And this is what the checklist is doing as of now. So, and then another issue was with the CSMRS, for the testing labs. When you go for any kind of test, which is supposed to be done by the CSMRS. So we have multiplied that facilities as well. And there also the waiting time has reduced to some extent. I'm only wondering if we have more projects now coming up of 20 gigawatt or plus type of a scenario. So what we have again done is we are trying to empower some of the educational institutions and we'll be funding them, giving them some funds to establish more labs. So that we are not only dependent on CSMRS, the multiple activities can happen with the other institutions as well. So parallelly, we are working on removing all your pain points. Hopefully, we are able to do that.
Thank you, sir. With that, we'll conclude the session. Very, very grateful, sir, for you being here, visiting the exhibitors, and being happy. And all the best as well for all the other endeavors that you have as well. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.